Making, I think, is self-organized. I don't have time to go into a lot of it, but the growth of maker spaces and fab labs around the world are showing us that this is a sort of a network of communities that are growing, and even within those communities, but it's largely decentralized. Maybe it's idealistic, but the sense of sharing, I think, is a cultural value.
What is the base of the maker community?
I think the base of the community, really, or the core of it, is really just people who are making things. I think of them mostly as hobbyists and amateurs, people that love what they're doing, and they've probably done this most of their life. But I think once sort of the makers began coming together, they see new opportunities and new ways of doing things, and they begin enjoying the sort of social side of making as well as the personal side of making. My original title for the magazine was Hacks Magazine, but I used the word make, and I think partially because it's understandable by most people. To make is something we could apply to food and shelter as well as a lot of other things. And I found it opened the door to more people to participate. Whatever we call it, hacking or making, pre-existed this maker movement. It's always been around, and that Makerfaire is sort of a catalyst for getting more people to participate, more people aware of makers. My hope is we see Makerfaire in Europe, we'll see more of that come to light. Because revolution tends to imply a rapid change. I think this is a deeper, longer-term change that might take generations to realize, and so more evolution than revolution. So I do believe that the maker movement is a source of innovation and a source of innovators. What's interesting to me is it's a non-traditional source. Like, we tend to think of companies doing research and development. We think of academia having, large institutes for studying problems and solving problems. But what if people are able to do that on their own independently in small communities? What we see online is when you make something and you begin to share it, you begin to make connections in a social network to other people that have interest in that. Sometimes as buyers of what you're doing, sometimes as other people who are producing similar things. Joining projects, working on projects is, I think, the new kind of job. Almost the most profound change that making can have on our world is to really help transform education and to really shift in some ways from a school-based model to a community model around education, that we profoundly learn from working with other people and working in small groups on projects. My goal through education has been to make more makers. You can be active, you can create, you can make things, and in a sense, you're shaping and building the world. The world around us was made by people.